you sense a little bit of an urgency? I know there's only about 7 rounds to go in this season. Usually you win a couple of them, you know? Do you put pressure on yourself, man, I got to win one, or is it, man, I just want to get this thing on the podium?
You know, Houston was so close to going a completely different way, and that would have been a win under my belt for the 11th season. But it just wasn't in the cards, and it's changed the whole complexity of the season. But at this point in my career, it's almost becoming a transitional part where you know, you start trying to figure out, you know, where do you stand, what risks do you have to take to be able to beat a James Stewart who clearly wins or crashes, or a Villapoto who's riding so freaking awesome right now. You know, at what level do you realize that you know, there's some steps we need to take before we get to that point, and I'm not willing to crash anymore. So it is time, you know, for me to start really, you know, figuring out where I go from here. What, you know, am I able to win in the future? You know, when is too old? Can I make my 2014 goal? There's tons of things that are going through my mind, but at the end of the day, you know, the crowd, the fans, the encouragement I get through, you know, conversation, opening ceremonies, and even some of my results, it's enough to keep me around. But it's a real trying time. You know, I talked to Mike a lot about my future and where I go from here, and you know, getting up in age and getting close to retirement in this sport is not a fun process. You know, at some point you have to realize that, you know, you're not able to run the pace anymore, and it's a tough pill to swallow. I've been fairly successful my entire career, and not ready to go quietly into the night yet, but those guys up front are doing some gnarly stuff on a motorcycle and taking some huge risks.